Ringo TV Reactions back at you again with another one. Make sure you rate, comment, and subscribe. Let's get to work.
Young nigga about that paper. 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 Yeah. True man, I'm free. I wake up a new episode. I pop out clean as can be up a level though. She talk to me like I'm not me. I get it though. Yeah. I'm so eclectic, on me to the credits roll. Talk down to me, they might have to send medical. I'm out the league, I'm OD, they pathetic though. Look how I move, I'm protected. Shawty so swoon in my presence. The world going through it outside, they unruly, but I keep it cool, they can't press me. I keep it pure with intention. They see what I'm on, ain't no vixen. I might slide through with that top down. I keep it tuned with a high power. Put it on me, I'm blessed. Young nigga blessed. Big bag, manifest the sky, no stress. Keep no evil around me, can't ground me. I built it since when I had less. No hex on, God can't pause, nigga, look at how far we progress. Whatever we doing, we keeping it fluid, I don't see a threat. Young nigga about that paper. 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 Hop on the jet, had to switch to the coast. One of a kind, I've been playing that role. They pay me to play me, I needed it for. It's real if I said I meant what I spoke. I'm legend, it's written, I shake up the city. Spin block till I'm dizzy, won't ever go broke. I'm chose, I must like do it a top down. I keep in tune with a high power. Put it on me, I'm blessed. Young nigga blessed. Big bag, manifest the sky, no stress. Keep no evil around me, can't ground me. I built it since when I had less. No hex on, God can't pause, nigga, look at how far we progress. Whatever we doing, we keeping it fluid, I don't see a threat. Young nigga about that paper. 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 Put it on me, I'm blessed. Big bag, but I fix the sky, no stress. Can't ground me, I know this since when I had less. Look at how far we progress. Fluid, I don't see a threat.
Hi, I am Shalon. I am a stand-up comedian, Monique's oldest son. I guess I felt the need to make this video to just provide some context into this false narrative about her praying to the universe in order to reconcile our relationship or whatever the hell it is. I wrote it all down so that way I don't go all over the place and get emotional or anything like that. So I'm gonna talk like I'm reading a script, but it's just gonna help me kind of stay together. But to address the Club Shay Shay interview that she did where she states that she prays to the universe in regards to reconciling our relationship, as I stated, is odd. My mother and I both know that that is a very false narrative, and I would like to free her of having to continue telling that lie. Faith without work is dead, and neither one of us cares to put forth any effort to reconcile with the other. We are separate, as she put it, because she doesn't care to be my mother any more than I care to be her son. Neither one of us has had the desire to reach out to the other in a very long time, and I don't think that either of us anticipates that feeling ever returning. Speaking with my mother directly, in my experience, will either lead to some odd newfound moment of clarity in regards to how she was as my mother, or she retreats back to daddy to move forward with a conversation. And I'm tired of hearing my mother's truths. Newsflash, I'm not sure if people know, but standing in your truth doesn't make you noble. I'm not sure if people are aware of that. But responding this way, I feel as though it allows me to say my piece uninterrupted. To those wondering, well, why say something now? Call it a form of therapy for me, I suppose. But when her daddy had intentionally stated that they have 3 sons, but his wife is on the internet talking about the 4th son in a video that has millions of views, that rubbed me the wrong way. But anyway, to inform a child that you are not interested in being a mother at a time when that kid is the only kid that has the potential to lead a child to believe that you are not interested in them specifically. But to take it a step further, you also admit, my mother had also admitted to me that she didn't do the best job that she could do, which would also make one begin to question, all of your past decisions and prior emotional interactions. But to be completely honest and fair, those were things that I was willing to get over. Nobody's perfect, we're all human. But my mother showed a clear lack of humility, compassion, and consideration when taking any level of accountability for those things. My mother does a fantastic job of acknowledging a lot of things, but she doesn't take accountability very well. And anything that she may take true accountability for, it's only at her convenience, in my experience. But if I had to guess, though, her interest in being a mother probably started around the time that she married her daddy and had his children. But that interest, obviously seemed one-sided, and as it should have been. By that time, I'm in my late teens, so to some degree, the excuse me, the neglect becomes easier to hide or validate, I guess you could say. There are now 2 baby boys in the house, that require attention. But still during that time, however, I still watched her enjoy the love and admiration of total strangers more than my own. To this very day, my mother has never expressed to me when, if ever, she became interested in me as her son. That did lead me down a path of questioning my self-worth and struggling to understand the value of a mother in a child's life. In the interview, she also states that she gave me an apology, but an apology to a son from a mother that consciously showed no interest in him holds no weight. There are still women to this day that my mother will give credit to for being more of a mother to me than she ever could. Her assistant, my cousin, being one of them. Every time, though, that my mother would state that she was right here whenever I was ready, that ideology still blows my mind today, that a person could openly admit to being an uninterested, not put my best foot forward type of parent and be so self-centered that they still express to the kid, you have to come to me when you're ready. You got to come to me for us to make this right. Okay. But I'm not sure what my mother could possibly think that she has shown me in the past or have for me now that's not money, goodness gracious, that would make me want to come to her or whatever those feelings are supposed to be. A mother is supposed to be the first woman that a boy falls in love with. I loved my mother very much, but my mother loved things more than she loved me, and she would validate her love for me by giving me things and would proceed to call me ungrateful or inconsiderate if said things did not have the desired effect. I couldn't imagine what it's like to be her, though, to ask God for what you want, and then he gives you what you need, though, only for you to ignore it and have the audacity to ask God for something else. And I'm glad I don't, I'm glad I didn't do that. And when he told you no, you went to the universe instead. By no means, though, do I want to give off any type of an impression that I am a victim of anything. That's not the case. As you can see, I'm smiling from ear to ear. I'm alive, I'm happy, I'm a dad, I'm healthy, I think. I drink a lot of water, I'm getting over a cold now. I still have my days just like everybody else. And, there were a few things that she did teach me along the way. I did learn how not to love from my mother. I also learned to make sure that I never lose so much of who I am that I have to validate it through another person. And though I feel as though, in hindsight, I think she did it reluctantly, I do appreciate my mother, for showing me what the top of the mountain looks like. You know what I'm saying? It did give me perspective on what hard work and dedication can get you, but I don't want something like that at the cost of giving up something that I created. I don't want it that bad. And speaking of creations, I genuinely, truly, I really did want my mother to have a relationship with my daughter. I even fought through those intrusive thoughts that were, if she wasn't interested in you, what makes you think she's going to be interested in your kid? But it took my mother no time at all to prove that those intrusive thoughts were correct. But what I can say, good for her, the universe did, bless her with three other sons, and God willing, I'm sure that all three of them are adults now. So I'm sure that one of them, God willing, if not all three of them, will make her the grandmother that she wants to be. I still look forward, to that moment for her. But overall, when it comes to the boys, though, I am happy that whenever they do hear me talk, sorry, my phone did something weird, but whenever they hear me talk, they don't know what it is. They can't relate to what it is that I'm saying. My experience with my mother is not their experience, with our mother. So my prayer for her and them is that they continue to see her the way that they see her now. I do also want to make sure that I say thank you to my mother for giving me life. Without that moment in time, I wouldn't have had my little one. But outside of that moment, there isn't anything that either of us has to offer the other. In my opinion, it's a waste of God's time and the universe's time for praying for something that you are not willing to put forth any effort to obtain. Putting the work into becoming Monique is more important to my mother than being my mother. And I do not believe that it was never about her being there and waiting for me, but it was supposed to be about me being there and waiting for her. My mother's value had reached such a low point in my life that I no longer found it necessary to either want to wait for her or even go to her. But like I said, man, I'm super grateful that she has the opportunity to do it all over again. I'm happy for her. I hope the Cat Williams tour goes well, but the narrative that she prays for us to reconcile is a false narrative. It's not real, and I'd appreciate it if she stopped saying stuff like that.
Welcome to the stream, everyone. Ringo TV Reactions. I'm back at you again with another one. We're talking about a situation here. Monique's son took it to social media to basically expose his mom as a deadbeat. That's right. Basically, Monique chose her career over being there for her son. Now, a lot of you, I'm kind of looking at the chat a little bit, and it's kind of disappointing how people are looking at the results of her son, and you're not even understanding the magnitude of the problem. Monique come on social media, she called all of us babies, my babies, but she wasn't there for her baby. You see the expression that he got on his face right there? See it, that expression? That's exactly what I'm talking about. She called all of us baby all the time to, somebody had mentioned it in my live chat. They said that she's doing that as a way to take down our defenses or to make us comfortable. I'm not sure if I'm saying it the correct way, but it's a way of disarming us so that we're not quick to criticize her, because Monique is more on the aggressive, masculine side. And the same woman that we seen in the movie Precious, that's how Monique really is, based on the testimony from her son. Monique put other children before her son. And some of you might say, but he's a grown man now. Who cares? He needs to grow up and be a man. That's easy to say. You know, we love to do that. This is why a lot of the young men today are wearing dresses. This is why a lot of the young guys today are confused about who they are. It's because the mothers of old were not really there to raise these young men. And, you know, the fathers weren't in the homes. And because women were taught to you know, chase the bag, get a career, they really didn't love their children. And what you see here is a testimony of that. In the public, Monique is telling us one thing and presenting herself as this motherly woman of love. And the whole time, her son is looking at her in disgust. Like, wow, she's a hypocrite, fam. That mean that Monique been lying the whole time. You have a lot of men out here that they never had that real love from their parents. And the end result is what you see here. You know, he's getting bashed right now. People saying that he feel entitled to this and entitled to that. Nah, you can't look at it that way. You got to look at how this man turned out is the result of the neglect of Monique being there, being a mom. She was, in fact, a deadbeat mom. And that's something we don't hear often. Oftentimes, you know, men, primarily black men, we always get thrown under the bus as being the deadbeat, not being there for our children, especially when our children get in trouble. The first thing the mothers normally do is say that the father is not there. He never really loved you. He never cared. And even if you're a good father, even if you're a father who is there for your children, a lot of times the mothers will go on social media and say that you're never there for your children, even though you're doing the right thing. Even though you spend time with your kids, you spend time with your sons and daughters, we just never get a good word put in for us. So we really never hear about women being deadbeat mothers, even though we see mothers online, you know, murking their kids. We see videos of women beating their kids literally on camera. And when we try to address these issues, especially as a man, we're called haters of women. We're labeled as women bashers, misogynistic, you know, all these negative names. And then we get called names such as you're gay, you hate women, your mama black. These are the typical things you get called when you try to call out or at least address these issues. And it's just sad. Monique was, in fact, a deadbeat mom who didn't care. You understand? Who didn't care about her son. And it's sad, man. I want to play the tape. I want you to hear it in its entirety, because what I'm going to start to do is just let the tape play. Let the tape play, let it play, and then I'll give my commentary, because people are always complaining. Ringo, let the tape play. Ringo, could you please just let the tape play, Ringo? Stop pausing the video. Okay. I had some time to think, and I realized maybe the method I was using was not correct, okay? So I'm letting the tape play. So, Monique is getting what she should have always got from the beginning, judgment. I don't like hypocrites. I don't like people that come on social media and present themselves one way, but they're not really like that. And what the son is doing, he's pulling her coattail. And he's calling it out. And it's interesting because you would think that a son would be singing his mother's praises, but he's like, look, I'm just here to set the record straight. She's telling y'all a pack of lies. Now, whose report will you believe? Whose report will you believe? Monique or the son? Because we got several videos to do, because Monique and her daddy already made a response video to this. And then the son made a response back. So we got a lot of content to share. You know, we have a lot of content to talk about. But let's break this down, because that's why you're here, right? So if you haven't already, click the like button. It don't cost you not $1. You know, go right there and click that button. Let me give you a few seconds to do it.
What you talking about, Willis?
Okay, you did it already? All right, cool. Let's get down to the video. Let's rewind it back to the top. Again, what we're talking about, in case you're joining in on the stream, we're talking about Monique's son exposed her as a deadbeat mother. That's right. Monique was never there. She was never there for her own son. But she called us her babies. Let's play it from the top. Let's go. Now, remember, I already let the video play in its entirety. So now I'm going to be playing and stopping, playing and stopping, playing and stopping. So don't come in the chat talking about let it play, or I'm going to block you.
Hi, I am Shalon. I am a stand-up comedian, Monique's oldest son. I guess I felt the need to make this video to just provide some context into this false narrative about her praying to the universe.
Praying to the universe. Not praying to the Most High, praying to the universe. And this is her elder son. A lot of times the elder sons or elder daughters, they normally get the short end of the stick. Pause just in case. But a lot of times when you're the elder child, you get the short end of the stick. And the reason is that they figure that you're the elder, you should know better, you don't need mommy. And it's kind of like they just forget about you. You know what I mean? That normally happens a lot. But let's get back to the tape.
To reconcile our relationship or whatever the hell it is. I wrote it all down so that way I don't go all over the place and get emotional or anything like that. So I'm gonna talk like I'm reading a script, but it's just gonna help me kind of stay together. But to address the Club Shay Shay interview that she did where she states that she prays to the universe in regards to reconciling our relationship, as I stated, is odd.
Is odd because she's not really doing anything to reconcile with her son. Because she's a liar. She lied to all of us. She made us all believe that she's this wonderful mother. But based on the testimony of her son, clearly she's not. Now, some of you may be Monique fans and you love her dearly and you believe everything she says, but there got to come a time in your life when you realize that her son is literally expressing his pain. Now, I see a lot of you in the chat, you're saying he's this, he played for the other team and all this other stuff. We're not here to talk about the man's sexuality. We're not here for all of that. You know what I mean? We could do that another time. What we're trying to address here is the hypocrisy of Monique, that she would present herself as this mom, this woman who's soft-spoken when she's with her daddy talking online, but she's misleading you folks into believing that she was this great woman, and the son is exposing her, trying to make you see the real truth. She was never there for him. And he's frustrated because there's a lot of issues he's dealing with right now. And the sad thing is, a lot of times you ladies, you complain about the guys today. You complain about men being broke. You complain about men being emotional. You complain about men playing for the other team. Well, it all starts at home. That's right. See, she was not there for the brother. So he didn't have no support base. He ain't have nothing. What you expect? Ain't no telling how much trauma he dealing with that another woman got to deal with because he was never able to resolve the issues. So Monique never reconciled with her son, never touched bases. But in the public eye, she'll create this false image to make you accept her. That's why she always call us her babies. Somebody had mentioned in the chat the other day that she's doing that to disarm us so that we're not quick to judge her, not quick to, call her out. In other words, she's an older woman in her 50s. Leave her alone, you know what I mean? Don't go too hard on her, whatever the case is. But really and truthfully, she got problems. Do you understand? Let's get to the tapes.
My mother and I both know that that is a very false narrative, and I would like to free her of having to continue telling that lie. Faith without work is dead, and neither one of us cares to put forth any effort to reconcile with the other.
Do you see that? Faith without works is dead. Meaning, she's not putting in any effort on reaching out to her son. She's not trying to visit, trying to do this, trying to apologize. She's not taking no accountability. No accountability whatsoever. And you know how most of these parents are, fam. Most of these parents in today's day, and especially the older cats, they have this mindset, and I'm pretty sure some of you will agree with me. A lot of older parents have this mindset that we supposed to come to them even when they're the ones that's wrong. Can I get a witness? Meaning, you can have a situation, right, where you and your mom haven't talked in 5 years. She did you dirty. But because it got to year 6, your mother is expecting you to give her a call so that y'all can reconcile the drama. She's looking at you like, well, why didn't you reach out to me? You have a phone. You could have came to me. I'm your mother, Or it could have been a situation with your father. Maybe, your father and you didn't have much of a relationship, because that's another issue. We're going to have to talk about that in another video. A lot of the women in today's day, guys, believe it or not, a lot of the issues that they have in terms of not cooperating with us brothers, and it's just a constant, war. It's because the relationship with their father, it's so bad. Or they never really had a relationship with daddy. So that love that she should have got, she never experienced it. So now when it comes to dealing with men, she don't know how to cope with men because she never got the love of her father. So she don't even understand the love of a man. She can't even identify what is love from when a man just want to hit it. So she take her chances with different men, hoping that he loves her. But because she never had daddy's love, she's frustrated. She won't admit it, guys, but a lot of the problems women are battling is because daddy wasn't there. Let's get back to the tapes.
We are separate, as she put it, because she doesn't care to be my mother any more than I care to be her son.
That's crazy, fam. What he just said right there is deep. And it just goes to show how much problems. And if this is happening in Monique's family, come on, fam. You know it's happening in your family, too. Now, you don't have to tell me all of your business, but I know usins. If this is happening with Monique and her son, doesn't matter how old he is. Always remember this, fam. Y'all got to stop playing this little game. It doesn't matter how old he is. He will always be her baby. Always remember that. Doesn't matter how old you is. You could be 45. You understand? Your mom could be in her 70s. She will always look at you as her baby. Your dad will always look at you as his baby. Yeah, they respect you as an adult, but you're still the baby. I know a lot of times we look at situations like this and we're like, well, he needs to grow up. He needs to be a man. Well, how he gonna be a man when the man of the house wasn't there? How he gonna be the man if mommy neglected him? He's gonna have nothing but emotional problems. This is why he's emotional. It doesn't make sense to make fun of him. It doesn't make sense to do that. That's why I said refrain from making jokes about the brother's sexuality or whatever you may conjure up. Let's not waste our time doing that. Let's address the real elephant in the room. Monique. Because she's the one who caused this problem. And the brother may have a woman in his life right now because he said that he has, I believe he said he have a child. I'm not sure if he said, I think he said a daughter, if I'm correct. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe he said he have a daughter, right? So he's having children. And he most likely have a woman in his life. That's why I'm not going to resort to any of the, the typical rainbow this and all that other stuff. I don't really got time right now, right? I'm trying to focus on the purpose of what we're talking about here. Because you have a lot of guys out there that may come across feminine, but they're not really like that. You understand? There was this one dude back in the day. He pulled all the women. Nothing but baddies. The guy never had some average chick. Nothing but tens every single time. But have you seen how this brother move? If you listen to how this brother talk, if you seen how this brother dress, you would think he's like this. But no. For some reason, that's just how the brother was. He had about 6 sisters, no father in the home. What do you expect? But he pulled all the women. You get what I'm saying? So my point is, him being in the situation he's in is because he was emasculated his whole life. When you see men like that, those kind of men been emasculated their whole life. Nothing but disappointment. Nobody there to listen to them. And now that they're older, everybody expect them to be healed, not realizing that this brother endured trauma, drama, heartbreak, pain. Some of you guys out there, the sound of my voice, believe it or not, some of you guys that are listening right now, right, that might question this man's sexuality. You don't even know how to tie a tie. If I was to put a tie in your hand right now and say, bro, put that tie on and make a knot, most of you brothers won't even know what to do. You won't even know what to do. You know why? It doesn't mean you're like this. It means daddy wasn't in the home. If I was to ask some of you brothers, do you know how to pack a briefcase? Do you know how to pack your luggage? Do you know how to do that? Something as simple as put on a tie. You got a dress shirt. You're about to go to an interview. Okay, put that tie on by yourself and fix it up. I want to see it. See, if you don't know how to do that, bro, I'm not here to shame you. What I'm trying to show you is don't be so quick to judge when your daddy wasn't home. See, there's a lot of things as men we don't know that we're now learning as we go. A lot of us brothers are still trying to find our way to the bag, still trying to get economically sound. We never had nobody that showed us nothing. So what you see from this brother here is a cry. It's a cry for someone to listen. And all he's asking is for his mother to take accountability, which she won't. I can guarantee you her ego, she's not gonna listen. It's too late for her to listen. She's already set in her ways. Let's get back to the tapes.
Neither one of us has had the desire to reach out to the other in a very long time. And I don't think that either of us anticipates that feeling ever returning.
Wow. And the sad thing about this is that the brother has a child, and now that child is in a situation where they're not seeing grandma. How many of you at the sound of my voice right now, with just a 1 in the chat? Now listen to this very carefully now. Listen very carefully. How many of you at the sound of my voice have children and your children don't even interact with any cousins? They don't really see nobody in the family. You kind of just keep them home, and the only one they probably see is probably grandma. See, you wouldn't believe how many families are like that. This is happening today. A lot of the people that have children today, your children don't even know their cousins. They don't even interact with them. They don't even visit them because family have been divided. And we're acting like we don't see this. In each and every one of our families, we are divided. We don't want to admit the truth. Back in the day when you was a youngin', yeah, your family was tightly knit. You and your cousins interacted, but now that y'all became adults and now y'all had your own children, y'all don't even interact with one another. That's scary. That means that we're in trouble as a people. So what we're seeing here with him and his mother is a common situation that's happening all around us. See, when I do my content, I don't just like to focus on Monique and just her son. I try to make us all collectively understand the different issues in life so that we can look at ourselves as well. You understand what I mean? Let's get back to the tapes.
Speaking with my mother directly in my experience will either lead to some odd newfound moment of clarity in regards to how she was as my mother, or she retreats back to daddy to move forward with a conversation.
Wow.
And I'm tired of hearing my mother's truths. Newsflash, I'm not sure if people know, but standing in your truth doesn't make you noble. I'm not sure if people are aware of that. But responding this way, I feel as though it allows me to say my piece uninterrupted. To those wondering, well, why say something now? Call it a form of therapy for me, I suppose.
You see what he's doing? A form of therapy. See, that's what this is. I told you what it is. See, for him, he just wants someone to listen. Even if him and Monique don't reconcile, the act of him speaking about this on social media, he's battling the demons that he's been fighting his whole life. See, some of you fighting demons too. Some of you haven't spoken with your father in many years, haven't spoken with your mother in many years because y'all had that falling out due to some issue. Maybe you a sister, you got caught home with some boy, you moved out the house, got your own place, you and your mom haven't talked yet. You a brother, you did some nonsense, you probably got in trouble with the law, probably did some time, came out, y'all beefing, y'all haven't spoken. It could have been an issue where you owed somebody some money, an uncle, a mom, a dad, something. Y'all separated because of that one issue. So what we see him dealing with here is therapy. Him speaking to the camera, him expressing his thoughts to you, and you're listening to him, is allowing him to release the pain. Similar to when you go to a therapist and they sit you down and you're telling them all your problems and they're listening to you. Sometimes you just need somebody to listen to you. You know, a lot of us, we deal with a lot of issues, a lot of stress, and we hide it with smiles. We hide it with nice cars, material things, jewelry. And we're battling demons. We're talking about real tormenting demons that literally are oppressing us. And we try to escape by smoking, drinking, engaging in reckless behavior to escape the demons that torment us. See, if he don't come online to address these issues, it's going to burn up in his heart. And it could become disruptive in his life. He can lash out on maybe his own woman. Sometimes when you have men that are dealing with this level of trauma, it can affect their relationship with their woman. Now, he may have a woman that's in his life that has an understanding heart of his trauma. And she's there to be a good helpmate to help him deal with his issues. And that may be his only support base. Let's get back to the tapes.
But when her daddy had intentionally stated that they have 3 sons, but his wife is on the internet talking about the 4th son in a video that has millions of views, that rubbed me the wrong way.
Wow.
But anyway.
You see that? It's going to rub him the wrong way because she's putting him out there. And she's being hypocritical because she's not really who she claims she is. She deceived all of us. She called us babies, her babies. But she won't even reach out to her son to chop things up behind the scenes. You know, like how they always tell us when you have a beef with somebody, you need to, handle it privately. We love saying that, right? But we never really find the energy to actually practice it, And that's what he's dealing with. He's like, wow, you over there talking about this and that, and I'm over here and you won't even reach out to me. And I'm your son, in whom you neglect all these years. And you got people thinking that you're this perfect parent. It's crazy, man. She lied to us, bro. I don't like liars, man. Let's get back to the tapes.
To inform a child that you are not interested in being a mother at a time when that kid is the only kid that has the potential to lead a child to believe that you are not interested in them specifically. But to take it a step further, you also admit, my mother had also admitted to me that she didn't do the best job that she could do, which would also make one begin to question, all of your past decisions and prior emotional interactions. But to be completely honest and fair, those were things that I was willing to get over. Nobody's perfect. We're all human.
No. I'm going to have to disagree with you right there because we love to say stuff like that about nobody's perfect. We're all human. Monique never hugged this brother. Never hugged him. Never. Listen, a lot of us, fam, if you really be honest, Your parents never gave you a hug. Never. Never held you, embraced you, and said, I love you. Proud of you. Really appreciate you. He never got that from Monique. Never. Monique never hugged her son. I guarantee you. She never gave him a hug. And that's why he's broken right now. A lot of you out there may have never gotten hugs and affirmations and good words from your parents. Some of you guys never heard your father say, I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you, son. For some of you ladies, never got a hug from your father. And that's why you have issues with these boys and issues with men. Because like I said, the daddy wasn't there. And sometimes the daddy could still be there. And you could still have issues. So it's not like I'm saying if the daddy is there, you're not going to have issues, because you can make choices in life that can put you in a bad situation. What I'm saying is, when you look at how this man is moving, how he's talking, you can see that he's empty. That he's been going through life. Imagine going through life and you never had the love of your mother. Imagine being a son and never having the opportunity to play football with your dad. Dad never threw you the football to catch. Never heard your dad say, hey, go get your glove. Let's go to the park and play some baseball. And, you know, he's teaching you how to pitch. And it's crazy, right? A lot of you guys, you got those challenges. Some of y'all don't want to even talk about it. But you know, deep down inside, it's this real talk. You never had your father come up to your games in school. And it's not just because he was a deadbeat. In some instances, he didn't even know you were born. He didn't even know you were alive because your mom lied. That's another thing that we don't like to talk about, is that mom lied. Mom told us that dad didn't love us. Whole time, dad didn't even know, because the interaction that your mom respectfully and dad had during that time, it wasn't about love. It was just a one-night stand. You know, similar to how most of you are in today's day, respectfully. You go out there and you dating and sleeping around and mixed mingling, sneaky link and doing your little fun. Then you turn up pregnant. Your mom did the same thing. She wasn't that old woman in church her whole life. Let's get back to the tapes.
But my mother showed a clear lack of humility, compassion, and consideration when taking any level of accountability for those things.
You see? It don't get no better than that. When your children are telling you that you didn't even take no accountability for none of the things you've been doing over the years, you can't argue against that, man. You can't argue against that. Monique refuses to take accountability. Now, we're going to watch her response in another video, but I wanted to address each video piece by piece and put the puzzle together. Because in today's day, we don't handle anything privately anymore. In today's time, we handle everything online. I don't know why, but this is the culture we live in. We live in a culture where you don't handle anything privately. You handle it on social media now. If you're in a dating relationship, you come online to tell us about what your man did. I don't know why people do this type of stuff, but this is what it is. People feel more convinced to come online and tell the world when the world really don't care. The world just see it all as entertainment. Why watch Netflix when you could just come online and watch some Ringo TV break down these videos? Because it's filled with drama, suspense, and there's a message involved. Let's get back to the tapes.
My mother does a fantastic job of acknowledging a lot of things, but she doesn't take accountability very well, and anything that she may take true accountability for, it's only at her convenience.
Do you see what I mean? In other words, what he's saying, if we can interpret that, she's a good actor. When she's in the public eye, she knows how to speak a certain way to hide her true intentions, to hide the dirt. And if she do try to appear like she's taking accountability, it's only for her benefit. Are you getting that?
In my experience. But if I had to guess, though, her interest in being a mother probably started around the time that she married her daddy and had his children.
Wow. Man, oh man. He basically just said that she was not interested in being a mother to him. She only wanted to be a mom when she had her daddy's kids. That's crazy. Let's get back to the tapes.
But that interest, obviously seemed one-sided, and as it should have been. By that time, I'm in my late teens, so to some degree, the the neglect becomes easier to hide or validate, I guess you could say. There are now 2 baby boys in the house, that require attention. But still during that time, however, I still watched her enjoy the love and admiration of total strangers more than my own.
Basically, she ignored him. Y'all not putting the puzzle together? She ignored him because she had to take care of the other kids. So she ignored him. That's crazy. Imagine what he felt. Imagine growing up in a household and your mom neglect you. She don't even see you as a son. But she's showing love to the other kids that you were supposed to get, but she ain't giving you that love. It's almost like she's taking her frustration out on you because of the baby daddy.
To this very day, my mother has never expressed to me when, if ever, she became interested in me as her son.
Wow. Man, oh man. You gonna tell me that's not gonna affect this brother? You gonna tell me if you would walk in his shoes, you would be good? Nah, that type of stuff can affect you mentally. It could affect your future relationships. This is why a lot of us in today's time are having problems in the dating world. Because not only because the dating world is toxic, but also because of how we were raised. How we were raised and the lack thereof, and we weren't given the necessary tools. Nor were we loved. We were neglected. So consequently, when we get into relationships, we tend to attract other people who end up neglecting us too. Or we just have these fears of failure. So we don't think we're going to be good parents because our parents were deadbeats. So now we are concerned with how we're raising our children, or we look to the opposite gender as someone who need to come in and fix me. Sometimes you have people like that. They get into relationships with other people and they're expecting those people to heal them when they can't heal you. If you're a woman, right, and you're broken due to past relationships, dealing with Pookie, Ray Ray, daddy issues, mommy issues, and you linked up with me. And we kind of just chopping it up. But you got all these problems, all these unresolved issues. If I'm not strong as a man, you're going to burden me, because it's not that I'm not sensitive to the fact that you deal or been through issues, because I've talked to women that dealt with getting raped when they were younger, and they share their stories with me, and various other issues of getting taken advantage of. I'm talking about some things that can cause a lot of trauma and distrust in women, to the point where they'll look at me and think I'm probably just like those guys when I'm not. But what I'm trying to show you is sometimes people that are codependent on someone else's energy to fix them, it can be a burden, because you can end up showing them a lot of love and they don't receive it as love. They receive it as you're just not caring for them, or you just don't care, because they never known what love is. So now they've become codependent on you. And now they're making your life miserable, because now they're blaming you for why they feel the way they feel. How many of you guys been in situations where you're with a woman that you really feeling, and she suffer from anxiety, she suffer from depression, she may have been violated as a young lady, she may have had brothers use her, abuse her, destroy her credit, you name it. And then when you get with her, you try your best to make this woman feel comfortable with you. You try to be compassionate towards her. You try to be there for her. You're as gentle as possible, because you know she got issues. Because you're trying to work things out. You're trying. And it's like, no matter how hard you try, she just don't accept anything. And you grow frustrated. You're like, fam. And sometimes you gotta stop and tell her and hold her hand, like, look, you know I like you. Like, why you tripping? Like, why you, like, I'm trying to help you. I'm trying to talk to you. Every time I'm trying to talk to you, you keep looking at me like I'm the enemy. I'm spending all this time trying to listen to you and your problems. And every time I'm listening, it's like you looking at me like I'm the one causing your pain. That is exactly what he's in. And I'm pretty sure the woman that may be in his life is dealing with those type of issues where she really like him. But because of the problems from his past that he never had resolved, she got to sit there and endure the pain. And she's not being insensitive. You got to understand, it's not about being insensitive. It's draining. It's taxing on your energy. Because when people suffer like this, with this type of trauma, no matter how much love you show them, it's like they just don't receive it. They don't receive it. And you start to feel like you wasting your time with them. Like, look, I don't think this person like me because I'm doing everything I can possibly do, and they're just not accepting anything. So what do you want me to do? And that's why a lot of relationships break up. So in Monique's mind, Monique is like, look, I'm grown. You a grown man. What do you want me to do? What do you want me to do? That's what's going on right now. So what you see transpiring before you between the son and Monique figure he's grown, he should overcome this and move on. He's still looking for mommy. Are you getting that? In his mind, he's right. In Monique's mind, she don't think she's wrong. When you have a problem like that, It's never going to get resolved because nobody's taking accountability. Let's get back to the tapes.
That did lead me down a path of questioning my self-worth and struggling to understand the value of a mother in a child's life.
He was questioning his worth. He was questioning his values. Do you see what I mean? He was questioning his masculinity. I'm going to leave it right there. He was questioning everything. Put it together. Let's go.
In the interview, she also states that she gave me an apology, but an apology to a son from a mother that consciously showed no interest in him holds no weight.
Fam, he's not lying. He's not lying. Look, if you neglected your son or your daughter for years, since they were a kid all the way to adulthood, what the man just said right there is the facts, bro. She could say, oh, I apologized. It holds no weight because you're doing that before the people. You didn't come to me and embrace me as a son and cried and shed tears and wept and asked for forgiveness for all the years that I neglected you, all of the times I was never there for you. She never did that. Going on social media to offer up some sort of apology is a joke. It's the equivalent of bringing dinner to a homeless man. You bring dinner in a plate and you go to a homeless man. We see this type of stuff on social media all the time. They get food for the poor, and it's always accompanied with the camera. Hey guys, it's your boy Ringo. We over here with a homeless man, you know what I'm saying? See, this is what y'all gotta do, man, you know what I mean? You gotta help the needy. So I'm gonna give him some food because, you know what I'm saying, I'm a good person. And, you know, rather than me doing this in secret, which is the way a real human being should do it, instead I'm looking for clout. So what I wanna do is I wanna film myself doing it, right? That's what Monique did, y'all. Are y'all seeing it? Are y'all trying to understand? That's what Monique did. Her coming into public to say, I'm sorry, to say, I apologize, to say this. That's the equivalent of going to a homeless man with a dinner and your camera to exploit them publicly. When you see videos on YouTube, TikTok, and you see somebody going to homeless people and they're recording themselves, giving them money, giving them food, giving them clothes, it's all for clout. It's not from the heart. That's how they eat. That's how they get their check. They're using the homeless for content. That's evil. That's wicked. Monique could have went to her son, took a flight, pulled up at his place, stay for the week, chop it up with her son, talk, go out, and apologize privately. Reconcile privately. But she's decided to do that publicly. Why? To exploit him. No different than what people do with the homeless. If you're going to do something for the homeless, you should never have this. This is not supposed to be on. Hey guys, I'm here to give this homeless guy some clothes. Hey guys, I'm feeding this person and everybody praising you. Wow, Ringo, you so cool, bro. Yo, man, you doing good, man. You helping the poor. You're such a good brother. But in the eyes of God, I'm a hypocrite. if you struggling and I know you and you say, yo, bro, I have a need for this and I can't pay my rent this month, man. It's either my rent or food for my family. And I'm hearing you out and I'm like, bruh, don't worry about it, bro. I got you. You know what I'm saying? Word? Yeah. I got you. And the whole time I give him the money, secretly, got my camera recording like this. I'm acting like I'm on the phone, but I'm recording. Then you see me come on YouTube. Hey, yo, what's going on, y'all? Ringo TV Reactions back at you again with another one. Today, what we're going to talk about, the topic is you got to learn how to give. You know what I'm saying? I had a situation where a brother, you know what I mean, he was struggling behind on his bills. And, you know what I'm saying, I decided, you know, as a godly man, you know, the best thing to do is help the brother out. You know what I mean? So I gave him like 2 bands, you know what I mean? As you can see, based on the video, he's right there. Let's listen in to what he got to say. So as you can see, ladies and gentlemen, you know, this is what makes you a good man. You know what I mean? See, doing that, that's hypocrisy. Because me and him chopping it up behind the scenes, it's supposed to stay behind the scenes in terms of his personal business. Why am I online talking about the fact he couldn't pay his rent? Why am I using him to gain views? Why couldn't I just give him the 2 bands and just keep it moving? Because I'm clout chasing. So it's not about the love, it's about the views. Same thing with Monique and her son. She don't really got no love, fam. She was supposed to handle all of this behind the scenes. Let's get back to the tapes.
There are still women to this day that my mother will give credit to for being more of a mother to me than she ever could. Her assistant, my cousin, being one of them.
Wow.
Every time, though, that my mother would state that she was right here whenever I was ready, that ideology still blows my mind today, that a person could openly admit to being an uninterested, not put my best foot forward type of parent and be so self-centered that they still express to the kid, you have to come to me when you're ready. You got to come to me for us to make this right.
Let me tell you something, fam. No matter what you may say about this brother is speaking for all of us. This brother is speaking for all of us, fam. He's speaking for all of us that been through similar situations. Now, my mom always been there. Maybe you haven't had a mom that was always there. Maybe your dad wasn't always there. But he's speaking on behalf of all of us, whether the issue is about our mother, grandfather, grandmother, whoever. Whatever we lacked, he's speaking on behalf of that because they want us to come to them in order to make it right. Just like I said in the beginning, how many of y'all been in situations where your parents was wrong, but they try to hold you accountable by saying, well, you got a phone. You could have called me. You could have called me so we could talk. Why you ain't called me to talk? You know, you got my number. And then when you be like, but ma, you should have called me, like you the parent, like they're set in their ways. They're so prideful that they don't feel that it's their job to reach out to you. Some of you may have never met your father, but you know of him, but you never met him in real life. Until this day, he don't even think about trying to reach out to you. Let's get back to the tapes.
Okay. But I'm not sure what my mother could possibly think that she has shown me in the past or have for me now that's not money. Then
See, he's not focused on the money.
gracious, that would make me want to come to her or whatever those feelings are supposed to be. A mother is supposed to be the first woman that a boy falls in love with.
Man, that's deep. That's deep, bro. That's crazy what he just said right there, fam. Y'all got to listen to the bars. A mother is the first woman that her son is supposed to fall in love with. Every young man is supposed to have a love for his mother that is great. I love my mom. She's no longer here because she passed away. But my point is, every son is supposed to have that love for his mom. And the love that he had for his mom is what's going to translate into how he loved women. Did you get that? The way in which a young man loves his mother, how much he respects her, appreciate the things that she's done for him, how she raised him. Whether your mom had faults, whether she did everything good or bad, it doesn't really matter. You're supposed to have a certain level of love for your mom that translate into how you treat women as a whole. The reason why a lot of you guys have issues when it comes to how you treat women, you never really had much love for your mom. You didn't have much of a relationship with your mom. Maybe your mom treated you very bad and you took your anger out on women because of your mom. A lot of you ladies are wondering why the man you're with is abusive. Well, his mom abused him. Now, that's not an excuse for him to be putting hands on you. What I'm trying to show you is the reason why a lot of these guys out here be tweaking and have problems is because of how they were raised and the lack thereof. Do you understand? When you have a young man that was raised with his father, and his father is teaching him the value of $1, teaching him how to work with his hands to build, that young man is going to be light years ahead of all the other young boys because he have a father in his life teaching him masculinity and how to be a man and how to provide for himself and fend for himself. A lot of us brothers that are struggling, even trying to keep a job, is because of the lack thereof. Some of you brothers that are in your 50s, you have now started your life. That just went right over your head. Some of you brothers that are now in your 50s, you just started your life. Because your entire life from your 20s, 30s, and 40s, you've been trying to find your way throughout this maze, this desert, this drought, where you were given nothing. No inheritance, no tutorials, no advice. They just took you and threw you out to the wolves, and you had to figure it out. You are the strong brothers. If you're a brother that fit that description, you're a strong brother. A brother that came from the bottom. No inheritance. You had no real family to provide for you. You had no sort of education. You literally came from nothing. You are the kind of brother that is very strong. Now, if you're a privileged brother who grew up in a 2-parent home, you grew up in a beautiful family house, nice community, nice trees and green manicured lawn. You had the privilege to go to college, privilege to go to a nice school. You didn't have to deal with violence. You didn't have to deal with gangs and guns and robberies. You had a head start. This is why, as a brother who was fortunate to have that kind of upbringing, You got to always be mindful of people that were less fortunate. Don't look down on them, is all I'm saying. Don't try to compare yourself to them. You had a head start. It's no different than the transatlantic slave trade, where our people suffered in bondage for 400 years. And then when we're finally free, everybody expect us to be millionaires today. Everybody expect us to be making all this money and have businesses. Fam, most of us don't even know how to set up a business. Most of us don't even know what a C Corp is, a S Corp is, a LLC is. We don't even know because we had no form of training, no education. We don't know nothing because nobody was there to guide us. We have to look and search for information on how to get things set up. It's sad because other nations and their youth learn this from a little kid, how to set up a business, how to set up payroll, how to do their taxes. Fam, we're so far behind that even black folk that got money aren't doing their job. Look at this man. With all of the stuff that Monique have done in the industry, you would think that her son and her would be on point. This is happening all over the globe, fam. In all of our relationships, we're having these problems. Let's get back to the tapes.
I loved my mother very much, but my mother loved things more than she loved me.
Wow, 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 wow. Man. He said he loved his mother, but his mother loved things more than him. That's deep right there, fam. That got me thinking about my own kids. Hearing him say that, it got me thinking about what I gotta do. Maybe I need to tell my girls that I love them more. Maybe I need to do things more as a father. Because what if your children is looking at you the same way? What if your children is looking at you and saying, Daddy loved things more than me? You see that? That's what he just said. He said that he loved his mom, but his mom loved things more than him. Are we expressing love to our children? Are we giving our children hugs? Sometimes it could just be a hug, and your kids never get that. And they're starving for a hug. I don't know about you, but when he said that, I felt convicted. I felt convicted because I feel that I should be doing more as a father. Now, I'm no deadbeat by a long shot, but when he said that, it resonated with me. And it made me realize that there's more that I can do, and I'm going to do it. And the reason why is because I don't want a situation like this. I don't want a situation later on in life where my daughter's on social media saying dad wasn't there, or dad this and dad is that. And sometimes your children will have something to say about you, because they always do. Kids they're like that. You could be doing everything for them and they'll still find something that's wrong. You know what I'm saying? But my point is, as parents, we got to do more. So don't just look at this video stream and think, well, he needs to grow up. He's a grown man. He needs to grow up. This is an opportunity for us as parents to grow too. This is an opportunity for us as men and women to take personal accountability for what we may not be doing. How much times do you hug your children? How many times do you give them words of affirmation? How often do you do that? If you're not doing that often, you should. You should. Let's get back to the tapes.
And she would validate her love for me by giving me things and would proceed to call me ungrateful or inconsiderate if said things did not have the desired effect.
Do you see that? She would use material things to try to buy his love. She would use material things, fam, but it wasn't something he wanted. He wanted his mother's love. That's why I keep saying, you could be giving kids things, but they're not happy. You can buy them stuff, but they're just not. That's not what they wanted. They just wanted you to sit there and listen to them, or, go somewhere with them, or give them a hug. Tell them that you love them. Something other than just some materials. And that's what she did.
I couldn't imagine what it's like to be her, though, to ask God for what you want. And then he gives you what you need, though, only for you to ignore it and have the audacity to ask God for something else.
That's crazy, man. If you understand what he's saying, fam, as we break down this video, because only on Ringo TV Reactions, we do the best breakdowns on YouTube. The best. What he's basically saying is that Monique went to God, asked for what she needed. God granted her everything she needed, but she never used it for her son. She just continued to ask God for more and squandered it on her own lust. And he can see the hypocrisy.
And I'm glad I don't, I'm glad I didn't do that. And when he told you no, you went to the universe instead. By no means, though, do I want to give off any type of an impression that I am a victim of anything.
Now, even right here, he's confirming, like, look, guys, I know y'all gonna talk about me. I know y'all gonna say that I'm, acting like I'm a victim. He's telling you, look, I'm not trying to come across like I'm a victim. I'm a grown man. He's trying to be strong, but we know he's dealing with trauma. We know that. But he want you not to look at him like he's playing the victim, because he's not looking for no money from her. He's not looking for none of those things. What he wanted was a relationship with his mom.
It's not the case. As you can see, I'm smiling from ear to ear.
Just because somebody smile, fam, it don't mean that they're happy. It don't mean that they're happy, fam. I can smile, I can crack jokes, but you don't know what I'm going through inside. You don't know how I'm feeling. You don't know what I'm going through, fam. I could be depressed. I could be stressed out. I could be at the point where I feel like giving up. But I'm smiling, and you thinking I'm good when I'm not. You got people out here, they never get calls from their family. Their family never call them. Never say, hey, how you doing, brother? Hey, sister, how you doing? I just called you to check up in on you, see how you doing. They don't even get those calls. You going through all sorts of issues. You just lost your job. You was at that job for 20 years. 20 years, man. You don't got the job no more. You going through it. Mortgage got to be paid. Rent got to be paid. And you're sitting there trying to figure it out. And because you don't got no real family that's supportive, you don't know what to do. And you're stressed. And you don't want nobody to know that you got these problems. So when people say, hey, what up, bro? Yo, you good? But you hurting, man. Or a lady friend might holler at you, hey, brother, everything good? Hey, I haven't seen you in a long time. And probably some old friend or some sister you probably was dating or something. And you always liked her and whatnot, always wanted to have a relationship with her, and you ran into her, fam. You just lost your job. Hey, how you doing? And you're like, I'm all right. I'm good. Everything all right. You know what I'm saying? I'm just taking it easy, you know? Yeah, I heard you worked at so-and-so, man. I'm happy for you. I'm happy you got that job. You know, you got a real good job. You just lost your job. You just lost your job. And the way your posture is, you're like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? I'm cool. A good woman can pick up on energy. She'd be like, you all right? Yeah, I'm good. You know what I'm saying? And she could see it in your eyes. She could see the pain. You don't look like you're good. Nah, I'm all right. But like, look, you could talk to me. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to put on this facade or whatnot. You know what I mean? And he's like, I'm all right. You know what I'm saying? I'm just taking it easy, just going through a little things. You know what I mean? You want to talk about it? See, that's a good woman. A good woman want to talk about it. A good woman who's there for you, she want to talk about it. You want to talk about it? Well, you know, it's interesting that you were just talking about that job and whatnot. I just lost the job. You just lost your job, the same job? Yeah, I lost the job today. They let me go. You know, so it's like, you don't have to explain nothing to me. That's how she's talking to you now. You don't got to explain nothing to me. You know what I mean? You don't have to try to impress me with nothing. It's going to be okay. You know what I'm saying? Here, take my number. You know, let's just keep in touch and boom, boom, boom. And, you know. See, that's the difference between a woman and a woman who is always wanting to be around a guy because of his money. When you can get a woman that's willing to rock with you when you at your lowest point, that's the woman you keep. Because that sister might have a job, a career, a business, and she may be able to get that brother in another agency, or even they might end up doing some sort of business or whatever the case is. She's still interested in him. Even though he just lost his job, she's there for him. That's what we need as a people. And that is what this brother don't got from his mom. He never had that support.
I'm alive. I'm happy. I'm a dad. I'm healthy, I think. I drink a lot of water. I'm getting over a cold now. You know, I still have my days just like everybody else. And, you know, there were a few things that she did teach me along the way. I did learn how not to love from my...
Wow. Listen to that again. Listen to that again, man.
A lot of water. I'm getting over a cold now. You know, I still have my days just like everybody else. And, you know, there were a few things that she did teach me along the way. I did learn how not to love from my mother.
I don't think you heard it. I don't think you heard what he just said, fam. Let's play that back.
A lot of water. I'm getting over a cold now. You know, I still have my days just like everybody else. And, you know, there were a few things that she did teach me along the way. I did learn how not to love from my mother.
Wow. He said he did learn something from his mother. Now, at first, a lot of people would probably be like, well, wow, see, he learned something good. No, you didn't listen. He learned how not to love from his mother. Man. Got to listen to that one more time. Check it out.
A lot of water. I'm getting over a cold now. I still have my days just like everybody else. And, there were a few things that she did teach me along the way. I did learn how not to love from my mother. I also learned to make sure that I never lose so much of who I am that I have to validate it through another person.
In other words, to be codependent. You see that? That's what he's learning. And even though he says he learned, I'm sure he's learning as he go. Because when you're dealing with this kind of trauma, you're going to be codependent in other people to make you feel alive or to at least help you cope with all the issues.
And though I feel as though, in hindsight, I think she did it reluctantly, I do appreciate my mother, for showing me what the top of the mountain looks like.
Wow. That just went over your head, man. Listen.
Reluctantly, I do appreciate my mother, for showing me what the top of the mountain looks like.
In other words, showing me how the world is dirty. In other words, everything that my mom showed me in his eyes is how people can really be at the top of the mountain. Meaning, if my own mom is successful or doing this or doing that, she's at the top of the mountain and this is how I'm being treated, I know exactly how the world works. I know I can't trust nobody. I know I can't put my trust in anyone because look at how my mom treat me. This is crazy, man. Let's get back to the tapes.
You know what I'm saying? It did give me perspective on what hard work and dedication can get you, but I don't want something like that at the cost of giving up something that I created.
Wow, wow, wow. In other words, I do not want to be like my mom. That's what he's saying. In other words, I'm not going to give up on my child for wealth and riches. Listen.
Reluctantly, I do appreciate my mother, for showing me what the top of the mountain looks like. You know what I'm saying? It did give me perspective on what hard work and dedication can get you, but I don't want something like that at the cost of giving up something that I created.
In other words, giving up on your child. He saw what hard work and dedication can give you in terms of prosperity. But he said, I don't want that at the cost of giving up on my child.
I don't want it that bad. And speaking of creations, I genuinely, truly, I really did want my mother to have a relationship with my daughter. I even fought through those intrusive thoughts that were, if she wasn't interested in you, what makes you think she's going to be interested in your kid?
You see? In other words, why would grandma, be interested in a relationship with the daughter if she wasn't interested in you? That is like your daddy is not interested in you, but you think he's going to be interested in your kids? Of course not. If he's not showing no love towards you, he's not going to show no love towards the kids. So that means that his daughter don't even have a relationship with Monique, y'all. Are y'all picking up on this? Monique was a deadbeat mom, y'all. Monique don't even have a relationship with her granddaughter. She's out here doing comedy shows with Cat Williams and don't even have a relationship with her own blood Her own granddaughter don't even know her. And she had the nerve to be on social media calling us babies. She's doing all of this stuff, right? And if I'm correct, right? Because I know I seen something where Monique was giving apologies to other industry people when she was out there with Cat Williams. But she ain't got time to go chop it up with her son. Make it make sense. She got time while she's on the stage to tell people I'm sorry. But she don't got time to go visit her granddaughter. Make it make sense. That's all I'm asking. Let's get back to the tapes.
But it took my mother no time at all to prove that those intrusive thoughts were correct. But what I can say, good for her, the universe did, bless her with 3 other sons. Bless her with 3 other sons. And God willing, I'm sure that one of them, all 3 of them are adults now. So I'm sure that one of them, God willing, if not all 3 of them, will make her the grandmother that she wants to be.
God cannot do anything unless you want to do it. You understand? See, at Scrooge, he mentioned that it's not about no money. It's not about money. It's about the relationship. Let me read your comment. It says, he don't know how to play his cards, use his mama platform to get rich rather than boo-hooing. It's 2024. Gas prices is high, rent is high, life is high. And he want to blow up his mom. That's beta. I think that you just walked into the stream, because we broke down the whole video, and to just say that he's beta and this and that is to ignore the facts that we presented. Maybe you haven't been raised in his predicament to walk in his shoes. Some of us brothers walked in his same shoes. Whereas we can look at situations and we can realize what he's going through. See, a lot of times on social media, this is why it's very difficult for men to have a space in which they can talk about their trauma, pain, issues. Because once they try to do it, they're met with the name calling, you're gay, you're beta, you're this, you're that. In other words, we're not supposed to express no feeling. We're just supposed to be a man. And, ignore the pain. And this is why you have a lot of cats out here that be killing people, because they don't got nobody to talk to. Because what the brother said earlier, he said that him doing this video is therapy. See, he's not blowing up his mom's spot. The mom blew up her own spot. The mom blew up her own spot by lying to the public, by making it seem like she was apologetic to him. And he made it very clear. She know where I'm at. She could come visit me. She can hold herself accountable, but she didn't do that. He has a daughter. Monique don't even know the daughter because she don't want no relationship. She don't want to reconcile with the son. So it's not about money. It's not about getting rich. Everything in life is not about getting rich when it comes to family dilemmas like this. You can have a lot of money and that doesn't make anything better. A lot of times we do the wrong things and we look at the wrong things. There's a time to have money and there's a time when money cannot solve nothing. Listen, you can have $1 billion in your bank account and have cancer. Your money is not going to save you. Your money is not going to save you. When you're on your deathbed and that doctor says, "I am sorry, there is nothing more we can do, sir. Ma'am, I got to talk to you. We're unable to stop the cancer." See, my mom, she passed away due to cancer. And there was nothing more the doctor could do. He already told her, "You have a short time to live." Just imagine how she felt. See, no amount of money can save you when your time is up. And this is what I'm trying to share. It's not about money. It's not about using your mom's platform to get rich, and nobody's gonna make him get rich because his mom is Monique. That's like if you're a son of Michael Jordan. Just because you're his son doesn't mean everybody gonna like you. Just because you're Shaquille O'Neal doesn't mean everybody gonna like all your kids. Just because you're Magic doesn't mean everybody gonna love all your kids. You understand? That's not how life works. You got to put in your own work and make your own way. Now, what the mom could have done is set things up for her son so that he can have an easier path to success, because that's what life is all about. As parents, our job is not to make life harder for our kids. It's to make things easier for them. That's what our job is for. Now, unfortunately, in the Black community, if you want to call it a community, because I personally don't believe we have a community, we don't make things easier for our children. Instead, what we do is we make things harder. We don't provide them the resources. We don't teach them nothing. We don't give them the proper education. We don't have no savings for them because we didn't save no money. So consequently, we grow up in a world where we're just struggling trying to make it. Most of you right now are struggling trying to get yourselves together. You're not where you want to be because your parents never really was there to give you that start. Now, when it comes to people of other nations, Caucasians, Asians, Arabs, Indian, when you look at how they deal with their children, by the time their kids is of age, they got money set aside, stock, they have, different monies. They even have a house. Parents buy their kids a car. By the time they're of age, they got their driver's license, their permit, whatever. The parents buy them a car as soon as they graduate high school. Here, son. Here, daughter. Brand new car. In our community, it's not happening. Some of you got your first car at 30 years old, some at 40 years old, some of you at 60 years old. Do you get my point? And this is all by design. This is how we raise children, and it's just toxic. Children should not have to be going through the same struggles we went through. If we grew up in a community where we weren't raised in a house, you were raised in an apartment, it's your job to get to the next level. It's your job as a parent to sacrifice your life to get to the next level. The only reason why you're here is to put your kids in a better position. Monique had that opportunity to set her son up to be where he needed to be, but instead, she didn't do anything for him. So just like we go through struggles, he going through the same struggles. He's no better. You might think, oh, Monique is his mom. He had a great upbringing. No, that's not so, man. Can't look at it like that. There's a lot of people that have parents that got money, and that doesn't mean they had a good upbringing. They might have lived in a nice house, but they never had the love of a mother and a father. That's very serious, man, to children being raised in today's day. Having the lack thereof can turn you into a monster. Let's get back to the tapes.
I still look forward, to that moment for her. But overall, when it comes to the boys, though, I am happy that whenever they do hear me talk, sorry, my phone did something weird, but whenever they hear me talk, they don't know what it is. They can't relate to what it is that I'm saying. My experience with my mother is not their experience, with our mother. So my prayer for her and them is that they continue to see her the way that they see her now. I do also want to make sure that I say thank you to my mother for giving me life.
Because his father is not there. Make it make sense. Why would he be talking about his father if his father is not there? Do you understand? See, a lot of us, I think that we are ignoring the truth because the focus is on Monique. So naturally, women, when it comes to accountability, it's like kryptonite. So to hear the commentary from myself and the son, it seemed like it's one-sided. Everybody's going after Monique. She's the deadbeat mom. A lot of times women don't like to hear that. Unfortunately, in our day, women do not like to hear, even if it's the truth, they don't want to hear that. What about the father? Where is he? How you just gonna focus on Monique? How you gonna call her deadbeat? What about the dad? Well, let's ask Monique about that. Where is he? The reason why the dad is not there is because it could have been a situation where this young man may have possibly been the result of a one-night stand, allegedly, or a very dysfunctional relationship that the mother had, and she's not too proud to admit it. Which means he may not even know who his father is. So if he don't know who his father is, how could you talk about somebody you don't know? You know? You said she was married to his dad. Well, where is he? And at what age did the dad step out of the picture? And maybe the father is in his life. Have we ever thought about that? Because if you're going to say that she was married to his father, okay, let's entertain that for a bit. So if she was married to the father, did he leave? Do he have an active relationship with his father? Obviously, he don't live with his father. But my point is, if he's not saying anything bad about his father, maybe it's because his father is actually in his life. You know? That's what's going on, man. Let's get back to the tapes.
Without that moment in time, I wouldn't have had my little one. But outside of that moment, there isn't anything that either of us has to offer the other. In my opinion, it's a waste of God's time and the universe's time for praying for something that you are not willing to put forth any effort to obtain. Putting the work into becoming Monique is more important to my mother than being my mother. And I do not believe that it was never about her being there and waiting for me, but it was supposed to be about me being there and waiting for her. My mother's value had reached such a low point in my life that I no longer found it necessary to either want to wait for her or even go to her.
Wow. That's deep, man. Her value dropped so low that he don't even see a need to even go to that level, fam. Look like we got a little turbulence in the chat. Let's see what we got. Let's see. Somebody says, Let me see. Oh, that's the same person who says why he's not talking about his father. Typical response from someone that is avoiding the accountability of a woman. Do you see my point, ladies and gentlemen? In other words, when you hold and talk about Monique, they don't want to hear that. Even though she's a deadbeat, even though the son is telling you, they don't want to hear that. Why he's not talking about the father? Because that's who they want to blame. Right? So, the same person says, please drop the link. Please, your opinion bother me. So why are you here? Imagine that. My opinion bothers you. So, you don't care about the accountability of Monique. Are you seeing the problem we have, ladies and gentlemen? Here we have Monique's son telling us the real deal about his mom. But we have an individual in my live chat saying that they have a problem with my opinions, that it bothers them. Well, leave. I mean, I would not be at a place if I don't agree with anything. I wouldn't even be there. That's insane. Topic is not about you. Topic is about Monique and her son. But you don't want that. You want to hear people talk about the father. Because that's typical of trauma that you may be dealing with. Yeah. You want someone else to blame. He never said a bad thing about a father. He's talking about his mother. And it could be because he has a relationship with his father. Don't need to put his father on blast on social media because his father is still in his life. Do you see my point? It's interesting when people come into the chat and they be like, please drop the link. What link? You ain't coming on my show. Like, please drop the link. What link? You ain't getting no links from me. You know? Let's see what else we got. And make sure you're respectful in the live chat, or else we're gonna have to pack you up. We don't got no time to play games. Be respectful. Let's get back to the tapes.
But like I said, man, I'm super grateful that she has the opportunity to do it all over again. You know, I'm happy for her. I hope the Cat Williams tour goes well, but you know, the narrative that she prays for us to reconcile is a false narrative. It's not real, and I'd appreciate it if she stopped saying stuff like that.
You see that? He just came on to clear the record, to clear the air. And that is what a lot of people don't like. Because his words is very damaging to Monique. There's no way around it. His words put her on blast, and people don't like that. It's interesting how a son can share all those details about his mother, but people want to know, well, where the father at? Where's the father? No accountability for the woman. Are y'all not seeing this? Women could never be held accountable, guys. Once you try to hold a woman accountable, you're misogynistic, you hate women, you're bashing, you're this, you're gay, you're all this negative stuff. Where's the dad? Do you hear the man talking about how his father is? Do you hear the man saying his father was never there? Do you hear the man saying his father's a deadbeat? No. There's no need to. When you're a man and you're in your child's life, they don't talk about you. But when you are a parent who was never there, your children are going to talk about you. They're going to talk about you. And that's exactly what he's doing. So I'm trying to figure out, why would anybody have an issue with what the son is saying or what I'm saying? All I'm speaking is nothing but truth. People with trauma and drama will always have something negative to say. Because again, they cannot face the truth. The truth is kryptonite to them. And most of the women that have these type of problems, accountability, man, is just something they can't do. They don't know how to be accountable. They just never could say they sorry. There are people out here that can do you wrong and do you dirty and would not apologize. They'll make you out to be the bad guy. How many of you been there where somebody wronged you, and rather than them repent and say they sorry, they try to make you out to be the bad person? And you're like, I can't believe this person even went there. So hold up, you trying to blame me? You really going to go there and blame me? That's crazy. But that's what it is like in today's day, fam. So, hey, it is what it is, man. We're going to do some more content later on. I'm going to come back multiple times. We're going to address the video of Monique and her daddy, you know, her man. And we're going to find out what they got to say in response. And then we're going to look at his response. Because you got to do these type of videos separate. I'm not doing them all in one. Because when you do them all in one, people don't look at the content. They might look at the live stream, but they're not watching the entire live stream. So you got to do them separately. The way this brother is speaking about his mom is real talk. He's speaking on behalf of a lot of men and women that had parents that neglect them. And till this day, you're struggling with issues that you're trying to figure out, why am I like this? Why I got this issue? Why I got these attitudes? Why I got these emotions? Why I flip out on people for no reason? Where is this coming from? It's coming from the neglect of your parents. And you were never, it was never resolved. You and your mom, you and your dad, y'all never reconcile. You got to reconcile the issues, because sometimes you're battling demons. And sometimes family members can turn you against other family members. Sometimes a parent can turn you against a brother or a sister. And y'all fighting back and forth, thinking that in other words, you thinking that your sister hate you while your sister think you hate her. And the whole time somebody's in the middle pouring gasoline on the situation, talking about that person. How many of you ever been in a situation where when you're around the person, right? Let's say, for example, you go to the 9 to 5, you're at the job, right? You're talking to a coworker. When you're with that coworker, they're telling you all sorts of dirt about what Maxie said about you. You think the person that's telling you is cool with you. They're telling you everything that Maxie says about you. Yeah, she said this, she said that. And you're like, really? And y'all chopping it up. You thinking they really cool with you. Now, when you leave from the presence of that coworker and Maxie come around, that same person is telling Maxie that you are talking about them. How many of you been there? And they're playing double agent. And the whole time, you and that person beefing, and it's all because of that person that's in the middle. Meaning, you never said nothing about that person. You never did. And Maxie never said nothing about you. But the person in the middle is telling them that you're talking about one another. Got y'all fighting. Y'all at the job, all this tension is building up. Until that one day, y'all cross paths. Yo, I heard you talking about me and whatnot, man. Like, I'm right here. Go ahead, say what you got to say now. What do you mean I'm talking about you? You talking about me. You know what I'm saying? I heard from so-and-so. They told me everything. What do you mean who you heard from who? So-and-so. Don't act like you don't know. Well, I got bad news for you. So-and-so was telling me about you. That you was the one talking about my business and X, Y, and Z. Me? Who told? So-and-so? Hold up. And then that person walks into the room. Hey, y'all, hold up, where you going? Wait a minute. Come here. She's telling me that you said this and you said that. And then the other person telling them the same person. So you were telling them my business? Like, what? So hold up. You got us fighting. This is why you got to be careful who you hang around. This is why you got to be careful who you hang around, because a lot of times you got people that playing double paper, double agent. You thinking they cool with you, but they telling all your business to somebody else. And when that somebody else is around them, they telling their business to you. And they'll have you and that person beefing back and forth. Now you're on social media, beefing. And then y'all end up losing your job or get transferred. And the whole time, that person was in the middle, being a damn devil the whole time, plotting, watching the two of you fight while they sit in the shadows, laughing like, ha, ha, ha. Happens all the time, man. So, hey, we're going to get up on out of here, man. Appreciate everybody stopping by the show. If you haven't already, click the like button. You know what I mean? I really appreciate it. I want to give a few shout outs on the Cash App. You already know the rules. We shouting out names, not dollar amount. You know what I mean? Names, not dollar amount. Let me see. Where we at? Okay. I'm not sure if I shouted these folks out, but shout out to Sabrina for the, I was about to say how much. I keep catching myself, fam.
What you talking about, Willis?
Shout out to Sabrina for the support. Sabrina. If you like the message, please share the video. You know what I'm saying? It don't cost nothing to share a video, fam. Click the share button, put the video on your sites or whatever the case is, you know. And when I say share, I don't mean download and re-upload. Like share the link, you know what I'm saying? So people can know about the videos, you know? Shout out to Arthur. Shout out to Arthur for the support. Why this thing bugging out? Let me see. TD. I never seen nothing like this. Somebody had sent a Cash App and it had like some note or something. I mean, I'm not into the whole, the Valentine's Day business, you know what I mean? But they had like some cool graphics and all this other stuff. I never seen nothing like that. Must be something new. But appreciate you for the support. Let me see. Corazon. Said something in Spanish. Corazon, okay. All right. I guess I have a Valentine. Now they wrote something in Spanish. Yeah, so appreciate the support. You know what I mean? Let's see what else we got. Shout out to Rollo for the support. Appreciate you, Rollo. Michael. That's Michael, Rollo, Philip. Oh, that's 2 different accounts. Hold on, let me see something here. Oh, I thought that person had 2 different accounts. So that's Philip. Shout out to Philip, Rollo, Michael, and moderator V Dubman in the building. Support. Appreciate you. Let's get back to the tapes. Let's get back to the tapes. I better not see nobody in these YouTube streets saying, let's get back to the tapes. Better not. You hear anybody saying, let's get back to the tapes, you know they copying off me. Ain't nobody else saying it. Those are my talking points. Those are my intellectual properties. You know what I mean? Don't go stealing my talking points. Only I say that. So if you see anybody saying that, you know they copying, you know? But appreciate everybody stopping by. If you like the video, you like the commentary, because I believe I was fair and balanced, even though you had someone that believed that I guess I should be talking about his father. His father is not the topic. The topic is about the mother. You know what I mean? That's what the topic is about. It is what it is. It's not about the father. We gotta think in context. If the man is not talking about his father, it's because his father and him might be in good standing. There's no need to talk about the father, you know? But if the mom is on social media making statements that are not true and she's not really active in his life, that's gonna bother the son. So he's gonna naturally say something, especially if people know that's your mom. There's probably people, I don't know, dude. Before you know, people probably know Monique is his mom on his Instagram or his TikTok or whatever the case is. They may know that's Monique's son, you know? So it is what it is. And a lot of times people like to be private. So she put him out there, you know? She put him out there. He didn't ask for that. He wanted to remain private, I guess. Let me see. Hold up, wait a minute. I'm bugging out or what? Trying to figure this out. It's crazy. It's like I'm now getting in. I just heard a Cash App ringtone. I know I just shouted out Michael, right? Did I shout out Michael? I must be tripping. Let me see. Thought I did. Well, shout out to Michael again, because I don't know if I did or not. Because I just see it. I see the notification that just came in and it says a minute ago. And I'm like, a minute ago? I don't know. But appreciate y'all, supporting the work that we do over here. We try to provide you with good content that will make you think. So that you can see yourself in the content, But that's about it, fam. Let me see what's going on. Let me see. Let me see what's going on. Something else happened in the chat. What's happening, man? Let me see what's going on. Let me look for it. Okay. What in the world's going on, man? I don't care. I'm working. I suggest you do the same. I don't care. What's the matter with that person?
What you talking about, Willis?
Somebody got you upset or something? Like, what went wrong? I don't know what's going on. Did somebody say something? Got that person upset? I don't know. It's 2:43 p.m. 2:43 p.m. It's cold outside. Let me check. Let me see. Let's check the weather. See what's going on. 36 degrees. Mucho frío. 36. Okay. It's dry outside. All right. Okay, so we're going to be back later on. Do what we need to do. Did you drop gaming channel, fam? Look, when it drop, bro. You'll know. That's all I can tell you. When it drop, you'll know. I am ultra busy. Ultra busy. People do not have an idea what I got to deal with. When it comes to content on social media, you got to be diligent and consistent. When I do certain things, you're going to know because there will be announcements. So we don't have to keep asking and asking. It's annoying. Like, there's so many different things. Like right now, I'm trying to get my Patreon back. Those of you that know, they had suspended my Patreon over some BS. Patreon reached back out at me after a long time. You know what I'm saying? So what they did is, in case you don't know the story, what happened was on Patreon, you can set your page as plus 18. I don't know how my page was set at plus 18. On Patreon, when it's set to plus 18, that is telling Patreon that you upload corn videos. So in their mind, they're thinking that my page have explicit sexual content when it don't. So what they wanted was, they wanted me to identify myself to prove my age in order to be able to post that type of content, even though it's not on my page. So they wanted me to take a selfie and provide driver's license and all this other stuff for their database to prove who I am. You know what I mean? So I basically was like, no, because that's going against my rights. Number one, I don't have that kind of content on my page, so I'm not doing that. So they said, hey, you got a certain amount of time to do it, or we're going to suspend your page. And, you know, like if you're a Patreon content creator, you know, you get paid monthly. So they locked what I was supposed to get paid. They locked it. So I was unable to get my payout. You get it? And they've been asking me for me to prove myself for months and months and months. But I was like, I'm not doing all of that. I didn't even know what it was for. And I would ask other Patreon users, do you get this type of issue? And it was like, no. So the time came for me to finally prove myself. And I didn't do it. And they suspended the page. I did some research, looking through all the stuff, researching all their terms of service to find out what's going on. And I found what really was the issue. The issue is for people that post explicit content, you have to verify your age, because if you're posting content with women doing, you know, sex, they want to know that you're of legal age to actually do these things and the participants that are in these videos. Now, keep in mind, none of that content is on my Patreon site, but for some reason they believe it is. I don't know what kind of system Patreon use. I would think they would have some sort of AI system that can scan the page and know that there's nothing on the page. So I read in their fine print, it says if you believe that your page was, I guess, if it was misrepresented as 18 plus, then click here and file a complaint or to create a ticket to let them know to recategorize your Patreon as viewable and friendly for all viewers, something along them lines. So it took about 3 weeks or so for them to respond. And I think they responded 2 days ago. And they took the 18 plus thing off the Patreon, right? They took it off. Now that they took it off, it unlocked my payout so I can basically receive what was rightfully mine for that month. But now the page, I don't know if they fixed it yet, but it's still in the suspended phase. So I had responded to the email that they sent me and just let them know, like, look, the page is still suspended. What do we do next? Do we wait? Is there another process? Do I still got to identify myself? What's the next steps? Because I don't think people can see my page yet. So we made some progress. So once it's all sorted, those of you that want to be patrons, you'll be able to be patrons then. Let me see. So, bruh, they made your channel 18 plus, or you did. I don't know who did. I don't know if I did by mistake or if they did. Because at the time, when I had started the Patreon page, I don't know if I did by mistake. Because, you know, a lot of times their settings and the things they write, it don't really explain itself. So you would think, hey, if I'm posting something on Patreon that I don't really want on YouTube because it's too hot for YouTube, I don't want children watching it, so maybe plus 18 might be the appropriate thing to do. Like, for example, on YouTube, they have this setting that when you upload videos, it says, is this for children or is it for adults? You get what I mean? So you don't want to set it for children or else the video going to get demonetized. So you have to set it for adults. So it could have been a situation where maybe by mistake, I may have set it to plus 18, thinking it's to prevent children from watching the content. And you know what? Now that I think of it, this is why people were having trouble finding my Patreon page. Put a 1 in the chat if you can recall. Type in on Patreon to look for my Patreon page, and it wouldn't come up. No matter how much you search, it wouldn't come up. That's why. Because it was set to plus 18. So nobody could find it. Because in their eyes, they thought it was a site that promoted sexual activity. So it's protecting children from finding it, even though my page was open for all people. I just thought that if it's at plus 18, it's to prevent children from seeing content that, you know, might have profanity, some cuss words, and all this other stuff. I thought I was following a rule. Like I said, maybe I said it by mistake, or maybe Patreon said it. I would probably think that maybe I did, because once you set it, you can't uncheck it. So it probably was like that for years until it led up to Patreon changing their terms of service, because they were taking some heat from some other agencies about people posting explicit content. So now they want to verify who's who. But they removed it now, so it's good. All I got to wait for now is for them to open the page back up to public, and people could pretty much go over there and support and do what we need to do. You saying that if you put it to plus 18, well, that sounds nice in a perfect world, but what happened was there were some new rules. That's what I was just finished explaining. Maybe now, if you set it to plus 18, you have to, because they changed their terms of service. Their terms of service has been changed. So now, if you are a content creator that posts explicit content, now you have to verify. It says it in their terms of service. It's a new rule that was made. That's why I was threatened to have my page suspended, because when they rolled out the new, just like with YouTube, when YouTube changed their terms of service or their community guidelines, content creators get nervous, because that means we might have content that could be breaking the rules. So it's like we start pulling our hair out, because it's like, uh-oh, YouTube just updated their terms of service. Let's start to reading, because you don't want to get in trouble. You know what I mean? It's just like if you're at the 9 to 5 and they create some new standard procedure or some new guideline that you got to follow. It's like, uh-oh, here we go. A new memorandum. Let's read it. What? I can't wear what? Oh, man. They made another change, gang. That was the situation. So everything's going to sort itself out. Somebody said, why is that sexual anyway? Sounds like you just prefer adults to view to me. What are you talking about? I mean, are you even paying attention? What are you talking about? You said, why is that sexual anyway? Sounds like you just prefer adults to view to me. Well, why would I want children to view? Why would I want children to watch Patreon videos? When content creators on social media like YouTube move content to Patreon, it's normally because it can't be on YouTube. Just in case you don't know that, when YouTubers make content and put it on Patreon, it's normally because it's not YouTube friendly. Meaning it may have a lot of profanity. It may be a little too controversial. It may go against a certain guideline. And to avoid getting in trouble, put it on over at Patreon. Or you might have exclusive content that may be within guidelines of YouTube, but you just prefer it to be over there so traffic could come over there. It all depends. There's no sexual content on my Patreon. You know. Ringo, why are you so combative today? Let me help you out. Because I don't got time to waste energy. You try to give people the opportunity to just do their thing. And it's like, they say some of the most ridiculous things. Why are you so combative? Or whatever the case is. When you're trying to speak and they're not listening to you. Like, I'm literally speaking English and I'm making everything clear as day and people are just not understanding English. Have you not noticed, guys, that when you are a masculine man, women are always calling you combative and this and that for being a man? Like, this is crazy. Do I need to pack you up to Ebony Empress or whatever the case is? Do I need to pack you up? Because I really don't have time for this nonsense. Seriously. I don't got time. And it's like, people don't know how to hold their peace. I read your comment and it said one thing. Nobody's coming at you. I just don't got no time for the drama. Period. That's why I just pack people up, because when they're not listening and they're not paying attention, this is why, you know what it is? I'm going to tell you what it is, man. A lot of times people are not watching the live stream in live mode. It's like they scroll the video back a little bit. So while I'm communicating about things, it's either they didn't reach that part or whatever the case is, or they're just not understanding anything I'm saying. Why would someone come into the comments and say, Ringo, you're so combative? Why would anybody say that? When I'm explaining a situation. You can't win with people. You're going to have a group that will say one thing, another group that will say another thing. And this is why you can't please everybody. This is why I'm just me and I'm just straightforward. And when somebody get out of pocket, I just pack them up because I don't got no time to entertain these spirits. People are in their feelings all day. You know? I don't got no time for the drama, so hold your peace. It's just that simple. When a man says something, listen. That's the problem. But people want to get their last word and say something slick. And then that's that. Anyway, y'all, we're going to get up on out of here. I'm going to go take care of some business, and then I'm going to come back with another one. We're going to talk about Monique and her daddy responded to the son and find out what's going on. See what they got to say. Because I didn't even watch the video. I downloaded it, but I didn't watch it yet. But I also got the video from the son responding to their new video. So it's like, I got to see what's going on. All right? Fam, do you see how that person is still in my live chat, still talking? Do you see how Empress is still saying, I don't see where I was wrong, rude, or disrespectful, it's because she is not viewing the live stream live. She gots to be back a little bit. You would think people would just hold their peace and stop talking. Why are they keep trying to prove something? I don't care. I'm not talking about that no more. It's amazing. It really is amazing, the things that I got to deal with. And see, this is what I got to deal with. This is what I got to deal with. Now, before I packed up that other person, I gave them the benefit of the doubt. That E. Beck person, before I packed that person up, I gave them the benefit of the doubt throughout the live stream. Trust me. I had my finger on the block button. And I said, you know what, let them rock out. You know what I mean? Want people to just, do their thing. But then they coming at me with this nonsense about why are you so combative today? That's disrespect. We don't tolerate that. Learn how to have respect. Once I sense disrespect, we gonna pack you up. All right? If you're a woman and you're in the chat and I'm literally telling you, like, stop talking. Move on. And you keep going on and on and on, that's disrespectful. Because you're annoying me now. So if you're unable to control your emotions to the point where you stop talking, stop responding, stop trying to prove yourself, then I'm going to have to pack you up. Because you're not listening. You're making something bigger than what it actually is. You know? So, we're going to be back later on with more. Man, there's so much stuff going on. So I narrowed it down, fam, where I'm going to go. I originally was going to go to, I was going to go move to Florida, but I changed my mind. And then I was focused on Georgia. I was looking for some places over there. But I think it's going to be North Carolina. I believe it's going to be North Carolina. So if you out there in North Carolina, that's pretty much where I'm going. I'm hearing a lot of nice things about it. You know what I'm saying? And it's a lot of stuff that's going on over there with the brothers. So I think that would be a good move. Right? So yeah. I mean, they had this nice spot out there. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's just different. It's different over there. It's just a different vibe. Because, in New York, everything is just city, city, city. But out there, it's totally different. The area where I was looking at, totally different. But that's definitely going to be the area. So I look forward to that. I don't know how the laws and everything is over there. I hope it's not crazy like New York. Because New York, man, I don't know. Don't come over here to New York, fam. Only if you do business or you getting money or you got a job or whatever the case is, you work in New York, that's cool. But not to live. No, it's not good for that. You don't want to do that. All right? Do they have a lot of open roads out in North Carolina? Like open roads where you could like ride a motorcycle, scooters, stuff like that. For those that actually live there. I'm talking to those that live there now, not those that don't know, those that live there. Parks. I don't know. It's a lot of stuff I got to research. Because that's what I'm into. Because I would definitely get me a motorcycle now. I mean, I'm going to have my scooters and stuff, but if they got a lot of open roads, you know, and stuff like that, where you could take long, you know, rides out and just kind of just cruise, then I would definitely get me a motorcycle. And I'm not going to be speeding. I'm not going to do that. Now, motorcycles are fun, but it could be very dangerous. Some people be showing off too much. So there's a lot of open roads and parks in Florida. But I'm not going to Florida, though. You know what I mean? I'm not going to Florida. The reason being is a lot of the brothers, you know, we got a lot of things in the works. And those of you that support New Breed, you know what I mean? The brother is focused on land and building community. And a lot of that is happening in North Carolina. So I want to be there. You know what I'm saying? So I'm working with the brothers. You know? Because that's pretty much how we got to do it. You see how Pastor Doll is. You know what I mean? Pastor Doll is the blueprint right now for community building. Pastor Doll is the blueprint for community building. And as men, we got to take the initiative to go and start to do something. And as the elder brother sees and see the brothers putting in work, trying to establish something, you know what I mean? He may even offer his expertise. But he got to see something. Any wise man would tell you that. You get what I'm saying? It takes men to go do something. So that's why I'm deciding to go North Carolina. Because New Breed and the Brethren got something going on over there. And I want to be a part of it. You know, the goal is to build houses on the land and do this and do that and do a lot of other things. That's why you got to make sure you support New Breed, support what he's doing with this this agenda. You know, it's very important. You know, it's the first thing I did when I was looking on the map, right? Because I had found a particular house, you know, because the first thing we gonna do is we're gonna rent a house. We found a property to rent. And the first thing I'm thinking about is, where the food at? Because all you see is houses, 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 houses. I'm like, where the stores? Because, you know, when you in the city, the store is normally down the block. Supermarket is over there. The local Target is over there. Macy's is right there. The shopping centers are all over. But when you go down to them other places, man, ain't nothing nowhere around. You're like,
What you talking about, Willis?
so what I did is I went on the map and did the street view and kind of moved my way through. And I think I found a McDonald's. I found a McDonald's on the map. And what you call that place? Where in the world is that place, man? It's some restaurant. I forgot the name of it. But they had some, it's like everything that's out there, you gotta like drive out somewhere. I'm literally still looking for the Home Depot. Listen, I don't know where the Home Depot is in North Carolina, man, but I need to know where it's at. So I got to do more research, fam, because wherever I'm going, fam, I need to be near a Home Depot. I need to be there. It was a diner. It was a diner spot. I forgot what in the world it is. It was a diner spot. You have a McDonald's. You have a diner spot nearby. You have some other stuff. It was like on like a strip, like a road, and it had like everything. It's a nice area. I ain't gonna lie. Not a lot of nice areas there. I'm sure it's a very decent area. You know what I mean? Yeah, I know Lowe's. I know about Lowe's. It's just that Home Depot, like, it's just like even out here. Lowe's I normally go to as a last resort when I can't find something at Home Depot. I just like Home Depot's store. There's something about Home Depot. I like that store. Lowe's is a little different. It's a different vibe than Home Depot. I mean, if all they got is a Lowe's out there, then I'm gonna have to go. You know? But I mainly am choosing to go North Carolina because that's where New Breed and the Brethren are going to be, you know, focusing on the land. And I don't want to be traveling back and forth. I don't want to do that. You know? Yeah, I heard about the Charlotte area, Charlotte, North Carolina. I heard about that area. I'm going to be looking in that area too, because I believe that's around the area of, I'm not sure if that's the area where the land is or whatever the case is. I'm not sure, but I'm looking at around that area. It was different spots that I had saw, different spots, but, the first house that I saw that's for rent was a nice house, man. Very, very nice. Updated. They have all nice, like the kitchen is nice. 3 bathroom, 6 rooms. Nice. Now, the only thing about it, man, is maybe it's just me because I'm in the city, so I'm not accustomed to it. Like the house, right? Like it have like this large living room area and have this big glass door. And I'm like, this big glass door. And I'm like, where's the rest of the door? I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm in the city. You know, everything is locked shut. Maybe it's not like that out there. People don't got to worry about somebody, you know, breaking through their windows. Listen, fam, when you in New York, fam, you looking over your shoulder like this. Better make sure all your doors got to be locked. You know? So it had this large glass double door, or whatever the case is. And it's in the living room area. So once you walk past that door, like if you open it, you're outside. So I'm like, hold up, wait a minute. So if somebody just walking by, they just looking inside my living room? What are the gun laws out there in North Carolina? I'm sure the people there bear arms. I can guarantee you they have to. There's no way. Because I'm looking at the way it's set up, and I'm like, yeah, they gotta be able to bear arms. It wouldn't make no sense You know, it make no sense to be over there and have property and you can't bear no arms. Let me see. If you used to everything near you, like malls, events, food places, you definitely will find North Carolina boring. Actually not. I'm not used to anything in terms of things being around me. I really don't care. Everything I get, I order online. The only thing that needs to be near is a home improvement store. You know, a Home Depot, a Lowe's. That's pretty much it. I could care less about anything else. I don't shop for clothes at a store. Everything is online. Everything I do is online. I don't even spend money anymore. I don't even remember the last time pulling money out and spending. I haven't spent money, like physical money. This is how you know we're moving to a cashless society. I haven't spent actual physical money in probably 2 years. 2 years. I have not pulled regular money out of my pocket to buy anything. Because everything you can do with a Cash App or a debit card or whatever the case is, I don't know. Oh, so I'm good? North Carolina? Okay, cool. That's right. Okay. Now I know why that glass door is like that. Okay. Sounds good. Just what I needed. Okay, so because I had to make sure that you could bear arms. You know, go to the gun range and whatnot. That sounds like fun. That's why it has the glass door, because everybody else in that community all got guns. See, I'm gonna tell you something, fam. Y'all may not understand, maybe you do, maybe you won't, but when everybody is able to bear arms, ain't nobody effing with nobody. You do understand that, right? Serious. When everybody is able to bear arms, nobody gonna be effing with anybody. Somebody disrespecting in the chat. Who? Point them out. Point them out so we can bring them to the forefront of the class, find out what they have to say. Okay. Nobody. He said, Michael. You don't notice my background music sound like, what's that show? Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? Kind of sounds like it a little bit. You know, like how when you're trying to give the answer, it's like, it don't sound exactly like it, but it kind of give off that vibe a little bit. Like suspense. Like something's around the corner gonna get you. You said Charlotte is becoming more city-like. Well, it ain't New York. Okay, y'all. I'm going to get up on out of here. Y'all be safe. We're going to come back with more Ringo TV reactions. Make sure you rate, comment, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. If you like the stream, you like the commentary, hey, subscribe. Tell a friend. You know, did somebody else hit the Cash App? I think somebody did. Let me double check, make sure. Let me see. Shout out to Uncle. Shout out to Uncle for the support. Millie. Shout out to Millie for the support. Millie for the support. Says, for Charlotte, your family will love it. Appreciate it. Yeah, I'm gonna check it out. Like I said, the house that I was looking at, it looks nice. Very, very nice. Nice place. I like the kitchen. It's like the whole house is like podcast ready. Like when you look at the layout, it's just perfect. Like for content creation, I mean, every part of the house is nice. There's this one section of the house that is just perfect. It has like the upstairs area. You go upstairs and it got a window that's right there. There's a window and then it has like a little walk path and it just looks nice. And you could just tell that if it was a rainy day, the rain would be going on the glass and you could literally set up some sort of camera right there and do videos. Look real, real nice. I might post a picture of it one day. I might even get that same spot because it's open. It's available. But we're going to be back later on. Going to be back later on with more. I got a lot of things I got to do. Final words. A lot of people don't want you to have any success. They don't want to see you prosper. They don't want to see you get nowhere in life. But who cares? You got to get to where you got to go by any means necessary. You deserve it. You've been through a lot. And it's your time. Family, friends, they don't want to see you get to the next level. They really don't. But you got to do what you got to do to get there. Because if you don't, you're going to let down future generations that was dependent on you to make that way. So don't be afraid of success. Don't be afraid to step out. There's a lot of things you may not know. There's a lot of things you may not understand, but give it time. Study, step out. It takes money to get money. But most of all, you need knowledge and the wisdom of how to use the knowledge to open up those doors. So don't give up on your passions, your dreams. Don't be afraid to step out into new things and learn how to say and speak. A lot of times we've been taught, don't tell people what you're doing. Don't say what you're doing because they got haters out here. No. Say what you're doing. Speak it, and it shall come to pass. Peace and blessings to the mods in the chat. V-Dub Man, Rebel for Almighty. Salute to everybody in the building. We'll catch you later. Make sure you rate, comment, and subscribe. Ringo TV Reactions. The #1 reactionary channel on YouTube. You already know what it is. Ringo TV. That's right. Peace and blessings to all the workers out there, all the people on the 9-to-5 grind. All the people out there getting their bread legally. Salute. Everybody out there doing what they gotta do to win. right? Y'all stay safe. We out of here. Ringo TV Reactions. We out. Peace.
If you like our content, consider supporting via Cash App at $Ringo TV Raw. Become a patron on patreon.com for exclusive video content not shown on YouTube. You could also support through PayPal at paypal.me/Ringo TV Raw. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and click the bell to be notified of new content. Follow me on Instagram at Ringo TV Raw.
This is Ringo TV Reactions, the only channel on YouTube bringing you the truth, 100% raw and uncut. I'm out.